Hey guys, welcome to the video. Here's the second ever Q&A. I've been going back through some of these questions and I'm going to jump right into it. The first question comes from Breakthrough Music. And this is about 11 months ago and he says, "Hey Nick, nice video. What mic did you use for this recording?" I'm pretty sure this was a video of me playing something. I don't exactly remember which one it is, but for most things, I use this Apogee mic. That's a USB mic that plugs right into the computer. It looks like this. It works pretty well. It also can plug into your phone. It plugs right into an iPhone, so I use it to do some field recording sometimes, and then it also plugs right into the computer, so it's super easy to use. Since it has the preamp built right into it, it's easier to kind of just run and gun and kind of just move along with things and make new content quickly. And I think it sounds pretty good. I've used it for a lot of the duo videos that I've posted up, a lot of the videos for my course, and for a lot of the educational videos. It's all using that mic, and a little bit I've started using the new Zoom Q2N. The video on there can be hit or miss, so sometimes I don't use that, but the audio on there is pretty good and it sounds pretty close to the rest of the Zoom line of microphones and recorders, so I like using that Zoom Q2N to record live gig footage. I've shared a couple of things up on the channel already. The vlog that happened at the Umbria Jazz Festival, that was on the Zoom, and there's one coming out soon from a couple gigs in Pennsylvania that also featured the Zoom. But mostly I use that Apogee USB mic. Next question comes from Lisandro Hernandez. He asked me, "What mouthpiece is that?" And I know my mouth, and this was on the major scale workout video. And so I know I get this question a lot. I know it kind of looks like a crazy looking mouthpiece because it's discolored. But basically this is the mouthpiece that I play. It is a Marcinkiewicz 6ES. Marcinkiewicz. We might be doing something pretty soon, so I'm glad to be mentioning this now. But I've been playing this mouthpiece for a long time. I tried getting it copied once, and it didn't really work out. So I'm back to the original. Actually, this is a duplicate of the original one that I used to play. I ordered one when I was in 10th grade. Maybe it was 11th grade, but I've been playing it ever since, and it's a little bit wider. I don't exactly know the Bach equivalent, so if you want to look it up and post it below, I'm sure some people will be interested to know. Before this, I was playing a Schilke 51D. It's a different cup shape, but it's definitely a little bit wider. I think it feels wider to me, or it did at least at the time. And but since it's lightweight, it's easy to kind of play and easy to kind of get a range of sound with. And there's a bunch of people that play these Marcinkiewicz mouthpieces, and you know, it's very comfortable for me. The contour of the rim is easy to play, and yeah, so I've been playing this for a while, since 10th or 11th grade, which means I was probably 15 or 16, 29 now, so last 13 years or so, just playing on this mouthpiece. So I love this Marcinkiewicz. All right, so the next question comes on also the major scale workout video. Is from Med Down. He asks, "What do you think about doing chromatic scale but returning to the note you started on after each consecutive note? I like the challenge, i.e. C, D flat, C, D, C, E flat until you hit the highest C. I think it's a nice little range building challenge, but I think it's always nice to get advice from a pro. My college is now only trying to build up a music program, so I don't really have anyone to talk to about it. The only brass player here is a tubist." Yeah, so you know, that major scale workout, it covers a lot of things. It covers, you know, major scales in thirds, major scales in fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, octaves, and then playing the triads and the seventh chords that exist diatonically in the major scale. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of chromatic exercises that you can do. I think that I'm going to be putting out some chromatic scale video stuff pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. But in terms of this particular exercise, that's a great way to build some accuracy between chromatic positions and kind of working on slide technique and getting right to the position. Definitely the chromatic scale is the hardest thing to do on trombone, so working on a lot of chromatic stuff is important, especially when you get into, you know, more advanced improvisation and needing to use maybe the chromatic scale as connective tissue between ideas. It's important to be able to have that, you know, fluidity, just like we have the fluidity in the major scale. But I think there's more to come on that soon. So definitely check back and be on the lookout for those chromatic scale workouts that are going to be coming, and probably in the next couple of months. A question here from Sean Hendricks. He says, are you using a Marcinkiewicz mouthpiece? I've heard a couple of other people playing on them, and I really like the tone quality you get from them. Yes, Sean, I do play this Marcinkiewicz 6ES, and you can get a good tone on a lot of mouthpieces. I don't think the mouthpiece itself is what gives you a good tone. I think it's a combination of your sound concept and finding equipment that allows you to achieve the sound concept. So if you haven't seen any of the sound concept videos, go and search for those. Just type in Nick Finzer sound concept. There's a couple of videos that are going to come up that are going to maybe give you some other things to think about other than just equipment. You want to think about the players you love and the sound and the adjectives that describe their sound, so that we can kind of get past this, oh, I need to play on this horn to sound like so-and-so, or oh, I need to play on this mouthpiece to sound like so-and-so. I think there's a lot more to it than that. But yes, this is a Marcinkiewicz mouthpiece, and yes, there are a bunch of people that play them. Steve Davis plays one, I'm pretty sure, and I think he sounds amazing. So I think there's a lot more to it than just the mouthpiece. I think there's a concept behind it that really is the thing that allows the person to sound good and have a great tone. Question here, Errol Enoch asked about 9 months ago. He says, is your trombone tuned to 432 hertz? Maybe I was a little flat that day. I don't know. I don't think so. But sometimes if you listen on on the speakers of your phone, or you have a funny connection, sometimes the audio of the internet can get a little, funny. So no, my trombone is not tuned to 432 hertz, and I'm probably, I would hope, a little closer than 8 hertz off from whatever pitch I was supposed to be playing, but maybe I was a little flat that day. I'm not exactly sure, but I think we have time maybe for one more question. I'll dig a little deeper here. Let's see. Here's a good one. About 8 months ago, Joshua Alexander asks, how did you develop such a sweet tone? And I answered him there, and I linked to a blog post on my website from November 23rd, 2016, how to develop your sound concept. And I mentioned the sound concept a little bit a few minutes ago, but I think that the most important thing to developing a great tone is having an idea of what a great tone sounds like. So whether you're listening to my favorites like J.J. Johnson, Slide Hampton, Curtis Fuller, Steve Davis, Steve Turre, Wycliffe Gordon, the list goes on and on. But listening to those people, developing a sense of what those sounds mean to you in words so you can describe them, even if it only makes sense to you. Like, there's certain adjectives I use to describe their sounds that I'm not sure it would make sense to anybody else, but to me it makes perfect sense, and that's what I hear when I hear their sounds. And I try to imagine a conglomeration of all the best parts or all my favorite parts of their sounds when I'm doing my warm-ups and when I'm playing long tones, and then just trying to envision what that looks like or sounds like. And when I'm playing anything from long tones to lip slurs, imagining that sound, putting it out into the world, and just focusing on it all the time, no matter what I'm doing. When I was studying with Steve Turre, that was something that I learned. You have to really, really, really dig into these little details. The sound is obviously not a small detail. It's a huge part of your playing and your musicianship. But it's easy to let it slide especially if you're working on something new or something difficult. It's easy to let it slide and kind of not be the focus. So if the sound is always the focus, you're going to develop a great sound because you're going to be listening to great sounds and trying to emulate them. So you try to, shorten the distance between the great players and yourself and their sounds and their sound concept. So listening a lot, practicing a lot, playing a lot, thinking about sound a lot, and thinking about how to get closer to their sound is going to, allow you to also develop a great sound. I think it also takes a long time. I don't think it's something that just happens overnight. You have to have persistence, you have to have vision, you have to have practice daily, you have to listen to your sound, you have to try to fill a room and make it glow with your sound. You have to work on creating some magic with your sound. When you listen to the great players, there's some magic there. And so just like playing an F for like 5-10 minutes until it like really is filling the room. There's so much nuance with the resonance of a note. I could go on and on and on about this, obviously. But as a brass player, it's super duper important. And so don't forget to get a sound concept, and make it happen. I think that's enough questions for today, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here really soon. Have a great week, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can see all the new stuff that's coming out all the time. See you guys later.